Yeah, I'll share a real cool thing that happened to me when I was in North Carolina going on a hike and kind of trying to watch out for snapping turtles and such. Um, I had a very interesting animal encounter on that hike. And so this can go under LTR because it's personal experience. It doesn't really fit in the other ones. But I was hiking along this, like an old logging road or a dirt road overgrown and not really used. And I stopped and realized that like 15 feet in front of me was this badger, a big old badger. Do you know the damage a badger can do if they decide to mess with you? See, this is a good personal story if you want to know me. So it was like, oh shit. And what I did is I calmed down and I sat down. I don't think full lotus or anything like that, but I just sat down, calmed down, and looked at him. And the badger was turning around and was gonna leave. He didn't like rush off. He wasn't scared of me. No way he was scared of me. But he was he was gonna. Hey, God, that's. Hey, sorry. Spray, please. Thank you. It's like Russian roulette. So this badger, Mr. Badger, I'm gonna assume it was male, was gonna just turn and go on his way and ignore me. And then he turned around and he started staring at me. I think he might have even come like 2 or 3 feet towards me. Yeah, I think he looked at me and then he came like 2 or 3 feet towards me. And then he thought better of it and turned around, and that was the encounter. And then, I don't know, to me, that's really something. Have you had similar encounters with animals? Yes, I love animals. I love nature. I love dogs. I'm okay with horses and cats. Love people. I'm starting to think of zoos. Do I like monkeys? What about lions? Butterflies. I like butterflies. Hey, you know the story about one butterfly in Brazil flaps its wings and it affects you up here, wherever you are? It's affected your reality. You know what I say? Imagine 100 trillion butterflies. The number 100 trillion has significance in my life. For example, I own 700 trillion Zimbabwe dollar bills. 7 bills. Each one is 100 trillion Zimbabwe dollars. So in that sense, I could say I'm a trillionaire, but I prefer to say millionaire life, billionaire mind. But it's a mindset, it's a paradigm. I'm trying to bring people into a 21st century paradigm. And more, I'm convinced we must migrate away from the 20th century paradigms. And you could say the patriarchy thing but that it's not 20th century. The patriarchy paradigm goes way back to Constantine and when Christianity got corrupted in its inception with the Bible. So, the Bible. The Bible is at least the New Testament is a group of gospels, right? Which was an oral tradition that meant hear the good news, and so there were many Bibles. There's probably like 2 dozen Bibles. and they were or Gospels, I should say more appropriately. And so Constantine's group, he was Roman emperor and changed the uh, empire religion to Christianity, which is why we know about it today. Sometimes I wonder if he'd never done that, if Jesus Christ really would have had a place in history. Anyhow, that's another idea. Um, but they curated them very heavily to match what they wanted Christianity to say and be. And again, Christianity isn't about spirituality, God, or Jesus Christ. It's about power. Was at its inception, always has been. It was a way that Roman Emperor Constantine thought he could keep power. So let go of the spiritual. That's just incidental. That's just while we're making this power grab, we have people happen to think they're spiritual, right? God, there's so much and hypocrisy and no. When I talk about spirituality and stuff, it has very little to do with Christianity. It has everything to do with Christ. So, how did we get into the Yeah, so I prefer women. I respect women. But women are people too, just like men. They've got there's women that are assholes and stuff, and I guess that I could talk about that. I was speculating about the idea that because the patriarchal society has terrorized and subjugated and suppressed women for so many centuries that a lot of you have drank in the Kool-Aid. Now, if you don't know the origin of that term, because I hear it being used, but I don't find people that know the origin of the term drinking the Kool-Aid. Drinking the Kool-Aid, in case you need your memory refreshed or never knew, was from the Jim Jones cult, where he took his 40 or 50 followers down to Guyana or whatever, down in South America, some small country that he could like buy their cult could buy an estate or something, and they're settling down there. But what happened was there was some like congressman or some such that got complaints from their constituencies, and so we're going down there to check into probably from some daughter or something that Jim Jones had sucked into the cult and taken down there. They were complaining about it. What's going on here? It's a bad thing. And I knew there was somebody from my neighborhood, Janice Ostergen. I guess she got into a cult. We're not a cult. A lot of mundane muggles, idiots, will try to say we're a cult, but we're not a cult. Okay, so get that out of your mind. So, anyhow, he took his people down to South America, and this congressman went down there to check it out. And Jim Jones, the cult leader, freaked out, and because he thought that, well, I think they killed the congressman. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they killed the congressman's party. And then because they knew they were in deep doo doo, Jim Jones had this Kool-Aid made up that had poison in it, and they committed mass suicide. Big scandal, big news thing at the time. And that's where the saying "drink their Kool-Aid" comes from. It certainly means they buy, in with whatever is being sold to them, the gullible suckers. But it also means they're willing to die and or maybe they're going to be killed because they drink the Kool-Aid. So drinking the Kool-Aid is considered a bad thing. Okay?